Should we start now? Okay, namaste and good morning. Welcome to this Pranayam retreat. Uh, Pranayam, first of all, it is part of Hatha Yoga and part of Raj Yoga also. As you know, Hatha Yoga is mainly for the body. Starts with cleansing the body, taking care of the body, breathing the body, and Raj Yoga is for the mind. Okay, keeping the mind clean, keeping the mind calm, and ultimately detaching from the mind and knowing who you are. That's why they say the yoga deals with health, strength, and conquest of the body. But it doesn't stop here. It lifts the veil of difference between the mind and the body. And it leads a sadhak, the practitioner, to peace and unalloyed purity. So yoga does it all. But yoga does it, it's like systematically when we practice it. It's not just reading, it's not just memorizing, it's practicing. So yoga is something we do. But ultimately, yoga means a union of the Atma with the Paramatma. But we have to go through all these layers of obstructions, the upadhis. So today we're going to talk about pranayama. Pranayam is the connecting link between the body and the soul, and it's also called the hub in the wheel of yoga. That's why it's called soul of yoga. We all know that mind and the body are interconnecting with a complex and vibrant system of inner energy. We can call it a vital energy, or it's a ebb and flow of the breath. That's why energy, breath, and life, they are linked together. And the practices that make us conscious of this system, this ebb and flow, that science is called pranayama. Otherwise, we are breathing all the time, but we are not conscious of it. So it's a very vast branch of yoga. When you look at the Raj Yoga, it comes at the fourth ladder, pranayam. And the word pranayam itself is a Sanskrit word. It's a compound word. Pran and ayam. Pran is the life energy, the life force. Ayam. Ayam means expansion. Ayam means to bring. Ayam also means to regulate. So there are several meanings of ayam. So this is what we do with our pran shakti during pranayam. This energy is everywhere. There's no place in this universe where the pran is not. That's why we bring it in, pran and ayam. But we have to do it skillfully. Skillfully, we have to learn how to manipulate our breath. Because breath is the carrier of the pran. Just like this body is the carrier of the soul. Breath is the carrier of a pran. Breath is the vayu. But pran is carried in this vayu. So that's why people say pranayam is a conscious prolongation of inhalation, retention, and exhalation. That's how we do the manipulation. But we got to do it properly. Why should we do it? It helps our physical health. Because when we breathe properly, physical health improves. It develops a steady mind, strong willpower, and a sound judgment. With many, many other benefits also, which we'll continue talking about. But these are like a very general benefits. That's why it's called the heart of yoga. If somebody teaches you yoga exercises, but they don't teach you pranayam, they are just teaching you some of the physical exercises only, not yoga. Okay, yogic practice is incomplete without pranayam. Or they say that yoga is lifeless without pranayam. Lifeless. So that important. You have all heard the term Upanishad. Upanishads are the philosophical portion of the Vedas, and they talk about pranayam. There is an Upanishad called Chandogya Upanishad. And in the Upanishads, there are some stories also. That Upanishad begins with a heated dispute among the eyes, ears, mind, and vital breath. They are fighting that I am most indispensable for human life. They're all fighting, arguing. To resolve the issue, each function agrees to vacate the body for 1 year, leaving the others to manage without it. After they all returned, the function with the greatest importance will be determined. One by one, the eyes, the ears, and the mind departed. And through blindness, loss of hearing, and a nearly coma like existence, life managed to continue. But then the vital breath, this pranavayu, begins to leave. And suddenly the remaining functions find themselves uprooted, as if a strong horse anchored to the ground were pulling up the stakes that was holding them. And they all agreed, please return. We cannot live without you. You are the most prominent. So something which is so important for us, for our health, we've been just doing it unconsciously. And we are living, we are enjoying. But can you imagine if we do it consciously, what kind of a benefit we are going to get? That's why yogis, they said pranayam is the soul of yoga. We are aware of the breathing. We do, whenever there is some kind of a noxious smell, something like that enters our windpipe by mistake. Or whenever there is a thick cloud of dust forces us to pay momentary attention to it. But as soon as the problem is resolved, we forget about it again. So breathing recedes into the background and we are not aware of the power of this vital force. Whenever we have a low energy, whenever we have a shortness of breath, anxiety, stress, poor concentration, these are all the symptoms of poor breathing habits. So with proper breathing, we can solve these problems. Normal tempo of a breath is slow. On average, the heart beats 70 times in a minute, while we breathe only 16 times. These 16 breaths mean that the lungs expand and contract over 20,000 times per day. That's how much work they are doing. They consume about 35 pounds of air, which is like 6 times the weight of our daily intake for an average person. food and liquids. So the rate of breathing varies throughout the day. Sure, when we do vigorous exercises, it may increase to well over 30 breaths per minute. But during meditation, when we are calm and relaxed, it may slow to as little as 5 or fewer. This is our apparatus. We should know this. It's very fragile also. So that's why we got to learn how to do it properly. Because breath is a barometer for the nervous system. When it becomes imbalanced, we know the breathing changes, become shallow, tense, jerky. And there is a notable size and pauses also in the breath. We can see that. And this is registered by our mind. And that's how the internal feedback loop is established. That's why yogis, they say, relaxed diaphragmatic breathing, which is a yogic breathing, is a powerful aid to restore nervous system, your coordination and harmony. That's how inner tensions are softened. That's how mind is calmed. We can recover our strength. During pranayama, because some of you might say that how long we should do it, what is the best time to do it, which pranayam we should do it, because there are so many of them. We are going to go over several pranayams today, and I'll tell you who should do and who should not do a certain pranayam. Best time is in the morning. That doesn't mean you can do it in the evening. Some can be done at night also, because there are pranayams. If you are unable to sleep, you can do a pranayam so that you can sleep. But best time is in the morning. Sitting down, not standing up. Keeping your back straight and mind stable. So that means just pay attention to what you are doing. Because breath is used to cleanse, calm, and strengthen the nervous system. And that's how we increase our vitality. It's a very key focal point in relaxation exercises also. There are certain pranayams I'll teach you today. Just a manipulation of your breath. How can you bring your blood pressure down? How can you just bring your stress level down? Even the mental power can be increased with pranayama. So that's why before we do certain studies also, or even the havan we do, there are certain breathings we do so that we can concentrate fully and our mental power is enhanced. When breath flows in, it carries energy along with it. And what happens? Your body and mind gets revitalized. When the breath comes out, because there's an inhalation, exhalation all the time. But if you do it consciously, when we breathe out, it gathers the waste matter which blood has brought to the lungs and it just takes them away. It's happening automatically, but we can do it a better job consciously. So the inhalation is invigorating and exhalation requires less effort and it's relaxing. 5 basic qualities of good breathing. So just like we know the qualities of a physical health, qualities of a good breathing, it should be deep. That means not shallow. It should be smooth, not jerky. It should be even. Exhalation, inhalation, equal length. See, during pranayam, we manipulate. But otherwise, when we are breathing, because pranayam, we do it only for a few minutes a day. But rest of the day, our breathing, inhalation, exhalation should be equal amount and without sound. That means not noisy. If there's it's noisy, that means there's some kind of obstruction. That's not a good breathing. And then without pause. That means smooth, unbroken. It's like a no transition between breath to breath. So 5 basic qualities of a good breath. Again, deep, smooth, even, without sound, and without pause. So again, remember each exhalation feels relaxing and each inhalation feels nourishing. That's why paying attention to both of these is very important. It's not only taking in, throwing out is equally important. Just like with the food also. Food intake is important, but elimination is equally important. So the same way with this breathing also. And from where, which part of the body we use to do pranayam? From the nose. Mouth breathing is not a good breathing. Nose breathing. Okay, there are certain exercises we do when we inhale from the mouth, but there's a different reason for it. But the breathing should be from the nose. In Sanskrit, nasal area is called Saptapad. Sapt means 7. 7 pads. They confluence there. That means 7 openings are, they just start from there or end there, the 7 openings, 7 pads. 2 nostrils, 2 tear ducts, 2 eustachian tubes, and the pharynx, the upper throat. 7, saptapad. All of them are above our neck. 2 nostrils, 2 tear ducts, 2 eustachian tubes, and the pharynx. The lungs, we are familiar with the lungs. We know lungs we are using to breathe, but unlike the heart, they are not made of muscle fibers. And for this reason, they cannot breathe by themselves. To put awkwardly, we must breathe the lungs. They say that. So the primary muscle of breathing is the diaphragm. We say dome-shaped muscle lying below the lungs. So that's why the yogis, they say that, hey, make sure that that part of your body is healthy. Because the diaphragm contracts, inhalation takes place, diaphragm relaxes, and exhalation takes place. We should be familiar with this system of ours because breath is life. We can live for days without food or water, but deprive us of breath, we can die in minutes. We are all familiar with this, especially in the last year and a half with this COVID situation. But it is astonishing how little attention we pay in normal life to the importance of breathing, or breathing correctly, I should say. To a yogi, there are 2 main functions of proper breathing: to bring more oxygen to the blood and thus to the brain, and to control prana or vital energy, leading to control of the mind. So it's not only for the body, for the mind also. So both the reasons we keep in our mind. So pranayam is the science of breath control. There are 3 basic types of breathings. The one is shallow breathing, that is called a clavicular breathing. The neck muscles mainly activate the top part of the lungs. So like a shallow breathing. And a lot of people just breathe like that, shallow breathing. Then comes the intercostal breathing, the middle breathing. The central part of the lungs also are activated. Then third is the abdominal breathing. The deep lower portion is active also. So yogis, they say we should breathe where we combine all three, especially during these exercises. All three: clavicular, intercostal, and abdominal. All three. So that is breathing correctly. Of course, through the nose, keeping the mouth closed. Three terms I want you to remember, Sanskrit terms: Purak, Kumbhak, and Rechak. When we inhale, that's called Purak. When we retain the breath in, that is called Kumbhak. And exhalation is called Rechak. So Purak, Kumbhak, and Rechak. When you are doing the Purak inhalation, you should feel a little expansion in your abdominal area. It's like a pouring something in. Lot of people, they just do it opposite. That's called a paradoxical breathing. When they inhale, your stomach goes in. When they exhale, stomach goes out. That is wrong. Putting a lot of pressure on your heart that way. So learn, teach yourself. People have forgotten that. And out of tension, out of stress, they breathe like that. But if we remember this and practice it every single day, then normal times also you'll be breathing properly. I remember when my Guruji, my father, biological father also, my Guruji, he was close to 93 or 94. And there were some issues with the prostate glands. Normally, he never went to a doctor, but I went from here because he was we heard that he was not feeling well. So took him to the doctor. The doctor could not believe that how beautifully his lungs could expand and contract, even at that age. Even this morning, every morning I listen to one of his lecture on YouTube, and the date is down there. He's sitting on the floor, back straight. When I looked at the date, he was 86 of years age at that time. Speaking for hours, breathing properly, posture beautifully, and he always gave the credit to the yogic practices. Okay, so we can do that. We can start doing it and get the benefit of good health and a calmer mind. So when you inhale, abdomen expands, diaphragm moves down, massaging the abdominal organs. That's what happens. That is the benefit. That if we breathe properly, our digestive system stays better. When we breathe properly, our heart functions better. Our nervous system is better. We enjoy this life too. When you exhale, the abdomen contracts, diaphragm moves up. That massages the heart. So all this is happening automatically, but if we pay little attention, we can do a better job. And when you inhale through your nose, the air is warmed. That's why these yogis, they said, pranayam is supposed to be done through the nose, not from the mouth. Warm air goes in, and it's filtered also through our nose. So that is a benefit definitely, but from the yogic point of view, the overriding reason for breathing nasally is prana. There are three main nadis: Ida, Pingla, Sushushmana. Nadis. Those are subtle channels. That's where the prana flows. Ida and Pingla, they end over here in the nose. They start from the Mooladhara chakra, base of the spine. Along the spine, they crisscross and end over here. So Shushumna is the one which reaches up there. So when we breathe from the nose, we are directly affecting our Ida and Pingala. So that's why I said the overriding reason for breathing nasally is prana. So you must inhale nasally to maximize the amount of prana taken in. From the back of the nose, there lies also the olfactory organs through which the prana passes to reach the central nervous system also. Okay, so just like a changing the habit a little. Some people say, no, it's very hard to breathe from the nose. No, we should breathe from the nose. So let me mention, because I think the retreat on the pranayam is not complete unless I tell you the functioning of the prana in the body also. Functioning. The ancient Indian sages, they knew that all functions of the body were performed by the 5 types of vital energies. So according to the function in the body, they gave these names. And these names are Pran, Apan, Saman, Udan, and Vyan. Okay, so you might have heard these names, or if you have not, but I just want to mention it to you so that you know that, hey, this is a big science. It's not just only breathing in and out. Because this pran is the energy which is permeating the universe at all levels. Physical, mental, intellectual, spiritual, cosmic energy, pran is everywhere. So pran, the first function which I mentioned, the name pran, it is in the thoracic area. Controls the breathing, it absorbs the vital energy in the thoracic area. That's called a pran. So pran, general also, this pran in this area also, pran. Then apan. Apan is the lower abdominal area, which controls the elimination of urine, semen, feces, all that excretion happens with the apan. Then saman. Saman is like a gastric fire in the middle, which aids the digestion, maintains the harmonious functioning of abdominal organs. That is saman. Then udan. Udan, working through the throat, controls the vocal cords, raises the energy from the lower spine to the brain. That's Udan. Then Vyan, fifth one, pervades the rest of the body, the entire body, distributing the energy derived from food and breath through the arteries, veins, and nerves, like arms and legs, everywhere. It just distributes it, Vyan. So let me tell you again, pran, apan, saman, udan, and vyan. According to the functioning, according to that area, what that pran is doing. So they named it. So this is how deeply they thought about it. So it's not just intake and outflow. There are subsidiary divisions known as upapran. Upapran. When we blink our eyes, pran is doing it, and that pran is called nag. Naga. Nag. When we yawn, without pran, we cannot yawn. Kurm. So they gave the name to that pran also. Then when we burp, kricker. Krikara, cricker. Then when we sneeze, that's called a devdat. Then there's a pran which remains in the body even after the death of this physical body. For sometimes it leaves later on, but it stays there, which inflates the body. Yogis called it Dev Dhananjay. So Nag, Kurm, Krikar, Devdat, and Dhananjay. These are the Upaprans. So main prans, main is the pran. Then according to the functioning, the five prans, and then further division, Upapran. So the purpose of pranayam is to make the respiratory system function at its best. That is the main function. But automatically, when we are breathing better, circulation happens properly also in our body. There are so many things which are circulating. Okay? Because without that, the process of digestion, elimination would suffer. Toxins will accumulate. Diseases will spread. So we can control all that with the pranayam. So respiratory system is the gateway to purifying the body, mind, and intellect. And the key to this is pranayam. Better breathing means a better and healthier life. Pranayam increases digestion, vigor, vitality, perception, and memory also. People often come to me and they say, our memory is going down as we are aging. And my one recommendation is pranayam. Make sure you do enough pranayam. But then you got to know which one and how. And this is what we're going to talk about it, and we're going to practice some of it too. Okay. Pranayam frees the mind from the grasps of the body. It sharpens our intellect also. And we really, Rishi Patanjali told us in Yoga Sutras, a person who does the pranayam will get to know itself because the veil of ignorance gets removed through pranayam. Of course, pranayam purifies the nadis, protects the internal organs and cells, and neutralizes lactic acid also, which causes fatigue. Anytime you feel little tired, there is a pranayam to do. Sit up and do the pranayam. You don't need anything else to energize yourself. There's also experience of a state of serenity, which you will feel if you do pranayam regularly. You will no longer think about the past. You will not worry the future. You will learn how to stay in the present. Because everything is happening in the present. Past is gone. Sure, there's some lessons we learned, but past is past. That's why, what do we call it? Dead past. Future, we really don't know. Only time we have is present. And when we do the pranayam, because we are totally present in there, without the proper presence, you cannot practice pranayam. So pranayam is a divine fire which cleanses the organs, senses, mind, intellect, and ego. So to summarize it all. And it also prepares you to become fit for the next ladder of yoga, which is concentration, meditation, and samadhi. Without pranayama, those are just only words. But if you do pranayama properly, you will see that how easily you can climb up. Two essentials for pranayama. In Sanskrit, they call it achal and sthir. Achal means, over here in this context, a stable spine. So when you do pranayama, stability in the spine. Make sure it's straight. No slouchiness like this. Straight. Okay? You don't have to keep it tense, but straight. And sathir is for the mind. Alert mind. So practice of pranayama should not be just mechanical. It's not the blowing out of the air and then inhaling more air. No. When we do the asana practice for the physical body, our eyes play a predominant role. Because I want to see whether I am stretching my arms properly, I'm putting them up, or how I'm moving my neck, how I'm moving my shoulders. Got to look at it. Am I doing it properly or not? But ears are used to know whether we are doing pranayama properly or not. Ears. Sound of our breathing. There are certain pranayams, the sound of the bumblebee. There's a pranayam, the sound of the ocean waves. Those sounds during pranayama. Otherwise, I said that there shouldn't be a sound in the breathing. But when we are manipulating, regulating, lengthen, at that time sounds are there. And those sounds, they have a purpose. So that's why I said the ears play a predominant role in pranayama. When we inhale, we are intaking the cosmic energy. And when we are exhaling the toxins out. Just remember that. Breathing in or out must be neither forcible nor quick. Okay? Unless there is a particular pranayama you are doing it. Normally, most of the pranayama, you just use your abdominal muscles. Don't strain your body. Don't create any kind of a damage. Another thing before we start doing the pranayama, because I told you kumbhak is one of the terms, you remember? Purak, kumbhak and rechak. Kumbhak keeps us silent at the physical, mental, emotional level. Kumbhak. That's why kumbhak has to be pranayam. Kumbhak is the main thing in pranayam actually. When you are retaining that air inside. But kumbhak has to be done with a very relaxed brain also, not just the mind, the brain. Don't put tension over there, just relaxed. There are two ways kumbhaks are done. One is called Sahit Kumbhak, one is called Keval Kumbhak. Sahit Kumbhak is when you are holding the breath intentionally, deliberately. Sometimes you are holding the breath in, sometimes you are holding the breath out. There's an Antar Kumbhak and Bahya Kumbhak. Antar means you have inhaled and you are holding. Bahya is you have exhaled and you are holding. So that's called a Sahit Kumbhak. Intentionally, deliberately you are doing it. But then there's a Keval Kumbhak which is instinctive and intuitive. So there are certain pranayams where this is Keval Kumbhak happens. So your practice of pranayam takes you that level where kumbhak is happening without even your knowledge. In Kevali pranayam, this is what happens, and that's how the practitioner goes into the samadhi. Kevali Pranayam, Murcha Kumbhak Pranayam. These are some of the pranayams names I'm giving you. But remember, do not retain the breath by force of will, because when you just apply too much pressure, then you become tense. Your nervous system just becomes very rigid. You don't want to do that. I would say if you have never done pranayam, after doing a few pranayams, especially when you're doing it on your own, go look in the mirror and see how your eyes are. If your eyes look red, that means you're overdoing it. Okay, just notch it down a little. But if they're fine, you're feeling good, because after pranayama, how should you feel? It's just very light, almost like a floating in the air, that kind of a feeling after pranayama. Okay, eyes should not be red. So watch for those warning signs. Okay. So again, let me repeat it. Sitting down, we do the pranayama. That's absolutely necessary. Sitting down on a firm seat, not in the car, because over the past people say, can we do it in the car? Stopping at a stoplight? No, that's not the time to do pranayama. Give importance to it. It's almost like a saying, yeah, instead of praying in my mandir, I'm going to pray in the car. No. Remember what to do when. Only then you will get the proper benefit out of it. So sitting down, pranayama is necessary. Perfectly comfortable and stable. Consciously know what you're doing. When you are hungry, don't practice it. When you are thirsty, don't practice it. When you are tired, know why you are tired. Okay? So you should know this body of yours, what's really happening. Somebody says, oh, in the morning you said do it, we haven't eaten anything, we should be hungry. No, in the morning you're not hungry actually. Do it early in the morning. Do not practice when you are too full, when you're irritated. Right after eating a full meal, don't do pranayam. That's not the time. Do not practice in a noisy place or in a dirty place. There has to be some kind of a nice, fresh air. So that means don't do in the basements. Because sometimes people say, oh, in Chicago during winter, how do we do it? Hey, start doing it during spring and summer. We'll worry about the winter later on. We can always have a little window open even during winter. I do it. I live in Chicago. Okay. But spring and summer, we can do it outside. Fall, we can do it outside. Most of the time, we can do it outside or have a window open and do it. But no TV on, no noise. You need to go internally, you need to listen to your own nad inside. Anahat nad. And it's better to do fewer repetitions with equal vigor than a greater amount where your breath peters out. Okay, you want to do a good job and gradually increase the repetition. Okay, so feeling worn out or spacey means you are overdoing it. Some of the pranayams we do one nostril at a time. Like we close one side, we keep the other side open, and then we close both sides like this. So this is, I know there are several teachers, they teach differently, but from this ashram, we teach like this. Right side, we close with the thumb, and left side with the ring finger and the pinky finger. So there's a V on the top like this. So this way we can manipulate. We can just open and close like this. I hope you can see it like this. Okay. So this is the way we practice. Okay. So closing one side, then closing the both, then opening the other side. I told you, I'll tell you where is this all information coming from. It's not mine. It's from the scriptures. There are some yogic scriptures for Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga Pradipika, Shiva Sanhita, Gerand Sanhita, Yoga Chudamani. These are some of the scriptures which they talk about it. It's nothing new. Sure, there are many variations these days, but these 10 pranayams, which I'm going to give you the names or show you how to do, they are from these scriptures. Okay, so this is like a basic, and then later on, if you want to learn the variations, that's fine too, but you should know the basic, the fundamental of pranayama. Very first pranayama, let's look at that. Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama. Again, Nadi is the nerve channels. Shuddhi means purification. So this pranayam can be done by anybody. Okay, high blood pressure, low blood pressure, old, young, anybody can do it. There's no side effect to it. Because certain pranayams, I'll tell you who should not do it. In order to do this pranayam, you close your right side, right nostril, breathe in from the left, and again remember when you breathe in, stomach out. Hold that breath in, then let the thumb go, breathe out. Then you breathe in from the right, hold, breathe out from the left. Try to keep your back straight, shoulders relaxed, just breathing in from one side, holding, and breathing out from the other side. Nadi Shuddhi. How many times we should do it? Initially, no more than 6 holdings. That means the 3 full pranayams. So again, breathing in is the Purak, holding is Kumbhak, breathing out is Rechak. So you are doing all 3 in this pranayam. I would say in the beginning, hold not too long, gradually increase, and ultimately, ideally, the ratio is 1, 4, and 2. That means quick inhalation, long holding, and twice as long in exhalation. So quick inhalation, like, see, just like I did. See, then hold. Both sides are closed right now. Mouth is closed. And when you exhale, make sure all that foul air goes out. So practice few times and then you can ask me a question. This is a very basic pranayam. Everybody should do it. It's like both sides we are cleaning, we are just cleansing, we are invigorating. Blood receives a larger supply of oxygen. Nerves get calmed, purified. Mind becomes still, lucid. Okay, so right side, left side, both we need. Mainly right side, they say, is for the physical activity, left side for the mental. So, but we need both. So it just really balances it. So it's 11:54. So if anybody has a question, we can spend a few minutes on this and then go into the other pranayama. Anybody has a question?
It should be equal. Do you think we should count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then hold for 5 and then let it go for 5, or what? How do you
No,
make it
I
even?
would say eventually, if 5 is inhalation, eventually I'm saying 5, 20 for the holding, and 10 for the out. Okay, so ratio is 1, 4, and 2.
4 and 2. Okay.
You want to make sure you want to give your body, unless somebody has a very high blood pressure, I would say just don't do up to 20, maybe do it up to 10. But ideally, it should be 5, 20, and 10. Exhalation definitely should be 10, twice as long as inhalation. Because there's no harm in exhaling more, and just hold it there too little longer. After exhaling, just think that, hey, I'm going to squeeze some more toxins out. That's called a Bahya Kumbhak, outer Kumbhak. See, inner Kumbhak is when you are holding. Outer Kumbhak is after exhalation, you want to hold a little longer, like a squeeze more foul air out. Okay, so it always takes little longer to take the things out. See, it's like imagine there is a bottle with a tall and slim neck. When you want to put something in there, you will shove it in. When you want to take it out, you will tilt it and slowly it will come out. Right? What kind of whatever liquids you have in there. So the same thing over here. So inhalation is like a quick, right? Then hold, then exhalation. And it's okay to make sound. It's okay to have a sound. During pranayams, it's okay to have a sound. Because sound is the one which is telling you whether you're doing it properly or not. Okay? So, but do not overdo it in holding in the beginning, please. Even if you hold for 5, that's fine too. But exhalation twice though. Okay? Yes, Jyoti.
Rekha has a question.
Yeah. Do you alternate the nostril each time?
Yes, so you
First-
alternate. Yes, so you
Yeah.
alternate. So it's just like we inhale from right, hold, exhale from the left. Then inhale from the left, hold, exhale from the right.
Thank you.
Then again you do it. So this way, that's why I said, so this like you do it from both sides, so that's 1. Then you do again like this from both sides, that's twice. So minimum 3 times you got to do it in one
Thank you.
sitting. You
Thank
can do it more than once a day, but in one sitting, at least 6 holdings. Kumbhak is, when you do the kumbhak, what is really happening? That fresh air has gone in at the physical level, I'm telling you, has gone into the lungs. And in the lungs, there is a foul air in the little cells in there, in the pockets in there. And when you hold it longer, that fresh air you have gotten in, it expands with your body temperature. There's an exchange of air. And when you exhale fully, you are throwing out that foul air. Then there's a more room to inhale more. Fresh air and the prana also. Yes, Rakesh ji.
Can you please give the ratio again?
Say that again.
Give the ratio of
Ratio.
inhalation, holding, and exhalation.
Yeah, ratio is 1, 4, and 2. 1, 4, and 2. So that's what Dr. Chandra was saying. 5. Yeah, you count up to 5, and then ratio of 5 is like a 1. So then 4 is 20, and then exhalation is 2. That's 10. Okay. So that's a prop. I mean, I'm sure there's a variations to it, but this is ideal according to these scriptures which I mentioned. Okay. So it's called a Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam. That's the name of it. Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam. So anybody else? So definitely practice this. Anybody can practice. Whether you can do it to that proper ratio or not, but still you will see that with the practice, you'll be able to reach to that. And you will enjoy all the benefits which I mentioned earlier. So
Hershji, between each inhalation exhalation cycle, how much gap we need?
no gap. No
Not
gap.
no gap.
Right away, you got to just in one sitting, just continue doing it.
And totally about 6 holdings.
Six.
per
Yes,
session.
yes, exactly.
Okay, got
Yes.
it.
Got it? So it's not that you just want to, no, you want to keep the tempo.
Okay.
Okay, just do it, just constantly keep on doing it. In
Mm.
fact, once you get into the habit of doing pranayam, in one sitting you can do not just one pranayam, you can do several pranayams.
Mm.
There should be minimum 10 minutes average person should spend on pranayams. Minimum 10 minutes. Okay, and then you will see the benefit of that in the rest of the day. Your breathing will become better. Your mind will be calmer and all those things which we talked about earlier. Okay. So no more question on this, Jyoti? Okay. So Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam. Now, we're going to talk about Bhasrika. Because that also can be done by everybody. But if your blood pressure is very high, then try not to do it too much of this. Okay, just like a repetition, number of repetition, and even the force which you use should be little less. But what is Bhasrika? Bhasrika can be done through one nostril at a time or from both sides. Either way you can do it. But if you do it one nostril, just make sure you do it from the other side also. Bhasrika means that it's a Sanskrit word, Bhasrika, that means a bellows. Bellows movement. It's just like a in old times, the jewelers, they used to use that instrument where they'll just give the air to the fire so that it can just light up faster. So this is for our own fire inside, Bhasrika. So forcibly you draw the air in and forcibly you take it out. It's almost like using the pair of bellows. The other types of pranayams which we are discussing, the inhalation sets the pace. See, previous one we did, what did I say? Inhale, right? Then hold and then exhale. But this pranayam bhasrika, exhalation sets the pace. And the force also. Both out and in breaths are vigorous and forceful. So sound is made just like a blacksmith's bellows. So try doing this way. See, like I said, it's exhalation first. Like this. So it's like continuously you keep on doing it, then relax, then start again. Bhasrika. So I did it with both the nostrils open, but you can do it from one side also. But again, start with the exhalation though, not inhalation. Okay, if you need to inhale a little, that's fine. But pranayama is being done with the exhalation first. Okay. Then the other side. Like that. So practice it a little bit and then tell me if there's any question.
Hershey, what's the difference between Bhasrika and the Kapalbhati?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Let them practice this first.
Hershey, how fast should we do this? Fast, slower?
How fast or slow, depending upon the person to person. Okay. So you will see that normally when you're just starting it out, you have never done it before. One breath every second is rapid enough. Later, you can increase the rate to 2 breaths every second. Okay. But remember, concentrate into the perfecting the technique. Do not fall into the habit of doing too fast or too many repetitions. You want to make sure you do a good job. You can do it slowly or fast, depending upon your age also, depending upon your condition of your body also. But remember, both exhalation and inhalation are very fast. They are very active. Okay? So, and the shoulders stay still. You don't bring your shoulder. I have seen sometimes people just bring their shoulders up and down. No, it's not exercise for the shoulders. It's like a stomach goes in and out. So exhalation, inhalation.
So how long we do this?
How long? How long? How many times?
How long you should do it? I would say, if you have never done it before, just 10 times do it, take a little rest. 10 more repetitions, take a rest, and 10 more.
30 times.
Yeah, so 3 times, 10 each, and next week, I would say, make that 10 to 15. So number of repetition at a time when you do it, that's where you get all these benefits also, which I'm going to tell you. Because it will activate, invigorate your liver. Because liver, we know how important. I mean, all the organs are important, but liver. So it helps your liver. It helps your spleen. It helps your pancreas. Abdominal muscles, it improves your digestion and even your sinuses. If your body stays, extremities stays cold, you'll see that if you bring this into your practice, you are helping your body to stay warm. Warm body is a good body. I'm not talking about like a temperature warm, but like a very, very hot, but a warm body, that is a health of a good body. Hands and feet, they should not feel cold. They should not freeze. So if you have that condition, then start doing this Bhasrika Pranayama. They say the sign of a good health is stomach should be soft. Feet and hands should be warm. Head should be cold. This is from the scriptures I'm talking about. And scientifically, it makes sense also. If you have done this pranayam, after that, look at your eyes. If they are red, you are doing too much. Just bring it down a notch. If you have some kind of a ear infection, pus in the ear or in the eyes, detached retina, don't do it. Your body needs to be taken care of. It's a pretty vigorous pranayam. And that's why I said a person who has a very high blood pressure, you can do it, but make sure you do it one side at a time and less repetition and less forcibly also. If there's a bleeding in the nose, don't do it. If there's any kind of ache in the ear, don't do it. Take care of those abnormalities first. But it's a very powerful way to recharge your body. Anytime you feel little tired, sit up and do Bhasrika. Bhasrika. Any question anybody has on this? Jyoti?
Urmil has a question. Urmil?
Yes, Urmil.
Urmil, you have to unmute yourself. Urmil. Urmilji, you have to unmute yourself.
Unmute. Okay. You did tell us about the, but what if you get a little dizzy while doing this? Or, I do have blood pressure, but it's a very controlled with the medicines. It's not like crazy blood pressure. But if it makes you dizzy, or what are the things to look out for?
Okay, all right. If it makes you dizzy, just slow down. Just try doing it from one nostril at a time and slowly. See, from one nostril, also you can do it fast if you want to, but not if you're getting dizzy. See, fast is like this. Slow will be. So like that. So it's lower pace, you can do it.
And what is the maximum? Because people try to show off, oh, I can do 100 times. I can do this many times. What is the
That's why I
sensible
said
amount?
3 repetition and see how you feel.
Yeah.
10
Some
puffs.
people show off and say, oh,
Yeah.
we do it 100 times. I say, I forget it.
Yoga is not for show off. Yoga is not for competition. In yoga, we look at our own body. We are trying to make our body better than what it was earlier. That's
Today.
all. Yeah, there's no competition. Yes, Smita ji. Yes. Unmute yourself, please.
We tend to breathe from one nostril at a time, many times.
Yeah, but that is not right. Both the nostrils should be open all the time. That's why before the class I was saying everybody should do Jal Neti every single day.
I am doing it every day.
Every day you are doing it?
Every day, without fail.
Okay, all right, that's good. So one side is closed. One side is closed. Okay.
Yes, it changes from this sometimes this will not change.
Yeah, no. I would suggest before sleeping, put a little almond oil in both the nostrils.
Okay, all right.
Okay, just a drop in both sides.
Yes.
Suck it in, go to sleep.
Yes. Okay.
That will help you. Okay? Yeah, both sides should be open. Yes. Okay, Pramila.
Thank you. Thank you.
In this pranayam, you have to do empty stomach.
Pranayams
should
be done in the morning, empty stomach. So yoga is supposed to be done in the morning. First do the cleansings, then do the pranayam, then do the asanas. So empty stomach, in the morning it is empty stomach. But in case you got to do it during the daytime, you can do it if you have eaten food 2 hours before. That means food has gone down. You can do it. Okay? So sometimes people don't have enough time in the morning to do all the exercises also and the pranayams, cleansings too. So it's okay to do it in the evening too. But do not do this pranayam right before sleeping. You'll have a hard time sleeping because you have really become energized. You want to, after doing this, you want to clean the walls. That kind of energy you have. So you won't fall asleep that easily. Okay. For sleeping, there are other pranayams. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good questions. I'm glad that you are paying attention and you will be practicing. That is the main thing. You got to take something from here and start practicing. And when you start practicing, if you have a question, call me. That's okay. I'll go over it again.
It's inhalation and exhalation are equal. Equal inhale, equal exhale.
No. In Bhasrika, yes. Bhasrika, it's Bhasrika, it's just like a, definitely, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's like a equally powerful also. Okay. It's just like you very active and it just becomes equal actually. In this one, you are not manipulating. You are not controlling. All you are doing is just starting with the exhalation and inhalation. Exhalation, inhalation, exhalation, inhalation. So it is equal. Yes, you're right.
Thank you.
One way you can watch whether you're doing it properly or not is called a put your hand in a fan shape on your stomach when you're doing this pranayam. Just put it over here. It's like a placing the middle finger on the navel. The middle finger on the navel. And thumb and index finger above that. And the ring finger and the little finger down. So it's almost like a fan on your belly. And when you are doing it, you should feel stomach going in also and little up also. It's like a scooping feeling. It's like you scoop the ice cream out. That's how scooping feeling you should feel. In also, up also. Try it this way. So shoulders again stay still. Hand on your stomach like a little palm. And so your index finger and thumb lifts up a little. So stomach is going in also and little bit up also. So this way you can see if it's working properly or not. So these little techniques, you can refine your Bhasrika Pranayama. Okay. So what I said earlier, that still stays. Starts with the exhalation, shoulders down, relaxed. Almost, before you do the pranayam, just roll your shoulders a little. Okay. And then bring them down. Keep them down. Back straight. So this pranayam, but you put your hand over there and do it. And this way, when you exhale, stomach should go in. When you inhale, stomach should come out. Okay. And it's just happening. So you got to just learn to coordinate like this and keep on doing those repetitions. Okay. Another refinement you can do in this pranayama. I mean, you don't have to add it right away, but if you want to do it later on, lift the rear of your tongue slightly during the practice. Keeping the front of your tongue on the hard palate up there. And then do it. Try it. See, what happens is when you do this, it narrows the opening in your nasopharynx slightly, and it brings your attention back to that area. Okay, so front of the tongue up on the palate, slightly, and then do it. Like that. Any question? I'm not adding all this to confuse you guys. So basically, a person who has done it already, I'm sure Menka has been practicing this. So that's how you refine your Bhasrika practice. Okay, but if you are just note it down, if you don't want to add to your practice, that's fine too. Just get into the habit of doing it, and every day you should do it. Okay, so directing the airflow more internally, it has a very soothing and calming effect on the nervous system, especially when you do it correctly. Okay. So any more question on this?
No.
But the rewards of these pranayams, the first two pranayams I have told you, rewards are so many. It's like a small amount of time, small amount of effort you are putting in, but the rewards are plenty. Few seconds of consciously calming your mind gives you the benefit of a calm mind for several hours. So minimum input, maximum output. Why not do it?
No, you
Doesn't
ask.
cost anything. Just a few minutes. It is it is like a, yes, Shimi.
Yeah, what Laurie is asking, should the diaphragm extend fully each time?
Yes, it does. It does automatically, actually. When you pay attention, it does.
Mhm.
So when you deep, like you are exhaling, automatically it happens. Okay, each time it will. And the more vigorously we do it, I'm not saying that overdo it, but if we do it with the full consciousness, it will expand. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
it's like these kind of pranayams, it's like a stepping into that kind of a zone in your self, which is called a pleasurable zone of silence. You will feel that. I mean, if you're sitting doing this without having anything from outside, you are feeling very pleasant. And this pleasantness, this bliss is who we are. We are always running outside to find this kind of a pleasure zone. We think going there, doing this, having this, we will feel this. It's already here. This pranayam gives us that. Okay? But we need to practice it though. So, anybody else has a question, Jyoti? Otherwise, we can take a little break now.
We can go to break.
Yeah, because it's a good place to stop.
Yeah.
And then we'll practice rest of the pranayams also, because today I want to make sure that you get into the habit of practicing some of these. So far we have done just two.
Yeah.
Nadi Shuddhi pranayam and Bhasrika pranayam. I know Jyoti asked a question. So maybe we'll start. I'll just explain the difference between Bhasrika and Kapal Bhati, because a lot of people have a confusion about these two. So I'll do that.
Okay. Can we show the nourish cleansing, water cleansing?
Yes, water cleansing, many. What we can do is 12:22. Let's come back at 12:40.
Okay, so right at that time.
So 5 minutes we'll use, and many is going to show. And then you know what you can do on your screen. Jyoti will tell you how to pin so that you can see many only. I'll be speaking, but he's doing it, and you can watch what he's doing. And then afterwards, if you want to practice, you can practice on your own also. That's a neti kriya he's going to teach you. It's almost like when you wash something, this is the area we are breathing through. So if we wash it, we can definitely breathe better also. So this is what he's going to show, neti kriya. Okay. So
12:40.
Yeah, 12:40. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, my friends, here's the glass of water, full glass of water. I'll be transferring that to my metal glass because it has a thin edge. It's a little better to have a thin edge glass for inhaling the water.
Okay, all right. So what he's doing, he got warm water with salt in it, and he's going to take that water in through the nostrils. You can do it either from one nostril at a time or both together. Doesn't matter. So it's like taking the water in and spitting it out from the mouth. So it's like that's how you clean the whole nasal passage. Start doing it many, then they can look at it.
Okay, the pinning has been done.
Individually they can do it. That's fine.
Yeah, many they do it individually. You just start doing it. Show it to them.
Okay, I'm bending. You go explain. I'm dipping my nose in the water.
Can you stand up? We cannot see you.
Okay.
Can you just put that? I know it's hard to show it on the screen, no. But yeah, this way people can see it a little
because
better.
My camera, okay, I can squat.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, squat, yes. And you have to apply a little force. It's just like a drinking water through with the help of a straw. So you just take it in.
You're seeing my spitting out of the mouth.
Yeah, and then water comes out from the mouth. Okay, so inhale through the nose, exhale water through the mouth. Keep doing it this way. So saltish water, do not stress out. Just keep your the whole body relaxed mood. Water is not going to go anywhere else. But it has to be warm water, little salt in there. Because our inside is all saltish. We know that, our tears, our sweat. So the same kind of a saltishness, same pH balance has to be there. Otherwise, water will sting you. Okay. So when you are done with that glass of water, or if you want to do half a glass, that's fine too. Then forcefully bring that excess water out. Yes. Okay. So he's bending it on the side and then this side. So if there's any water is in the cavities, he's
You
trying
can see
to.
the water there.
That itself feels good actually. You feel clean. Okay. Thank you very much, Manny. So any question? So warm water, salt in it, inhale from the nose, exhale from the mouth. Some people really cannot hold it in the mouth. They think it's just going into the stomach, and that's fine too. This is saltish water. Salt, the same salt which we put in the food, we put it in this, so it's okay. It just flushes out. But it's must. It is in the Hatha Yoga, the very step on this ladder.
Kim has a question.
Yes, Kim.
So my question is, when we do Vaman, we do not put the salt in the water, I think?
Vaman, okay, Kim is talking about, there's another cleansing which we do, that's a stomach cleansing. And again, we drink the water and we just spit it out from the mouth. Early morning, without any food, before any food we take inside. So Kim, if you don't have a constipation problem, no salt. There's no need for salt. But if somebody has a constipation, it will help them to put some salt if they don't have a high blood pressure. So you got to just see the condition of your body. But just for a general woman, water can be cold also. It doesn't have to be a warm water. But if you prefer warm water, you can do woman with the warm water. But cold water is fine. But in neti, water must be warm, otherwise it will sting you. Okay?
Hershji,
Yes, Dr. Chandra.
I have seen a TV ad, Nawaj or something like that, Navage. They use that cleansing thing. It goes in and comes out in a bowl, just like you showed here. It's a commercially available thing also there.
Oh, you're talking about the little pot.
Yes, and then
they call it a neti pot. Yeah, neti pot, they are there, but they are not as effective. Because with a neti pot, all you are doing is tilting your head. You're inhaling water from one nostril and from the other nostril it comes out. So you're cleaning only the nose area. That's all. How about the back where the bacteria are?
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
And then another drawback in that neti pot is if you're traveling and if you have forgotten to take neti pot with you, you'll have excuse, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, this can be done anywhere.
This can be done. I have done it in the planes, in the trains, in the motels, wherever I go, I carry some salt with me and I do it. Okay. And another, let me tell you the problem with the neti pot, that spout. No matter how clean you keep it, eventually that spout itself stays wet.
Yes.
And there's always a chance for some kind of a fungus can grow there.
Yes, I agree.
And we don't want to do that. This is like any glass you can use. We put it in the dishwasher, clean it. Yeah. So this is highly recommended. Okay. Neti pot, we don't need neti pot. And another thing, with the glass, when you're doing it, you're applying a little force. Then our nadis in there, they are getting the exercise with a gentle force which we are applying.
Yeah, we should not suck too hard, gentle.
Gentle. You are doing it very gently. It's just, but you are not just a neti pot. All you are doing is just pouring the water in. This is, you're sucking the water in.
Yeah, that's passive and this is active.
Yes.
Correct,
So,
correct.
so I would say try it, then you'll know the benefit. And then if
Yes.
you have a question, call us. And
No, no problem. I think it should be
okay.
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Mahendra Bhai, do you have a question, Mahendra Bhai?
No.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So yes, Rakesh ji.
So just a comment on the neti part, because when you have that spout, sometimes it goes towards the brain, and there have been some cases of infection going to the brain. I just want to bring it up.
Yeah, no, that is true. That's very true. Thank you for bringing that up. So glass, please. Okay. So before we ended our last session, Jyoti asked a question, the difference between a Bhasrika and a Kapalbhati. Bhasrika is a pranayam. Kapalbhati is a cleansing. Sure, cleansing we do with the air, but it's a cleansing, it's not a pranayam. Okay. Because some people think Bhasrika is a pranayam because it looks like a pranayam. In Bhasrika, exhalation is active, inhalation is inactive. Kapalbhati.
Yeah.
In the Bhasrika, both are active. Okay, so Kapalbhati, that's how you can see the difference when you're doing both. See, like a Bhasrika is like this. Kapalbhati is like this. So it's like when I exhale, force with a lot of force, active. When I inhale, it's a subtle. So that's why it's called active exhalation, inactive inhalation. Okay, is that clear, Jyoti?
Yes, thank you.
So, but basically, Bhasrika, in Bhasrika, because you're trying to heat up your body, your attention should be into your navel area. Okay, navel area, Manipur chakra. So Bhasrika, when you do it, in fact, I told you to make a fanning position in the navel area, the middle finger in the navel area. So your mind should be there. Okay, Bhasrika. Kapalbhati, when we do it, our mind should be in the Kapal area. Kapal is a head. All we are doing is cleaning the head. That's Kapalbhati. So when Mani, right after the Neti, when he was getting the excess water out, that is a form of Kapalbhati. That's not a pranayam. It's a cleansing. Okay. So remember that. So again, Bhasrika, Kapalbhati, okay. So remember, both are needed, but different purposes. Before we go on to the other pranayams, I told you that there are so many variations, so many different ways we can manipulate our breath. But we got to know by manipulation, what are we getting? There is a very, very powerful way to calm yourself down by just manipulating your breathing, which is called 2-to-1 breathing. It's a technique. It's a relaxation technique. Whenever we are just agitated, we need more serenity inside us. This breathing can be done. Because we are all familiar with our nervous system. From our high school science books, we knew that there was a sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system. If you remember that. And a sympathetic nervous system mediates the body's responses to physical activity. That's how the heart rate is increased, blood pressure, muscles tone, our skeletal muscles. It's all the physical activities. And the parasympathetic nervous system does the opposite. It decreases the heart rate, blood pressure, your skeletal muscle tone. It really prepares the body to sleep, to relax. So by knowing this, we can manipulate our breath. Because we know that inhalation emphasizes sympathetic activity. And exhalation stimulates the parasympathetic activity, the relaxation, the rest, the digestive system. So by adjusting the ratio of inhalation to exhalation, we can adjust the relative emphasis given to these sympathetic and parasympathetic activity with each breath. Each breath. And that's what is called 2-to-1 breathing. So it deepens our relaxation by extending the period of parasympathetic activity with each breath. To put it more simply, 2-to-1 breathing decreases nerve activity in the sympathetic nervous system. Select a comfortable place again, seated posture, head, neck, trunk aligned vertically. Release the tension from all muscles. Most of the people are comfortable with a count of 3 or 4 for each exhalation and inhalation. 3 and 4. So it's like a mental counting, not a oral counting, not a verbal counting, mental counting. So what you can do is, if you think that you are breathing in and out, the count of 8, normally it is like a 4 inhalation, 4 exhalation. What I would like you to do, exhale for 6 counts and inhale for 3 counts. So you're manipulating it. You are prolonging, you are exhaling twice as long as inhaling. And in effect, you are working on your nervous system with this breathing. So you're extending the breath to deepen the exhalation, contracting the abdominal muscles gently. Gently. So again, when you exhale, stomach is going in. When you inhale, stomach is coming out because you are filling up that balloon. And with this way, you are releasing the waste gases, carbon dioxide and all that fully. So let's practice it. I'll count for you. I want you to sit straight, keep your back, first of all, shoulders, just roll them and bring them down. And then keep your back, neck and head straight. So close your eyes because you got to just only listen to the sound for breathing, okay? So we'll start with the inhalation, okay? So inhalation, I told you, should be 3, exhalation 6, okay? So if it's too much for you, you can just reduce it to 4 and 2. But make sure inhalation is half as long as exhalation. But we're gonna do it, exhale 6 and inhale 3. So let's do inhale first. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you can do it a lot longer than this. It's not strenuous. All you're doing is manipulating your exhalation and inhalation. Okay, So you can just note it down. Anytime you need a little relaxation, do this. But make sure you're doing it consciously with the back straight, relaxed mind, and you'll feel relaxation. Any question? So this is not one of those 10 pranayams which are mentioned in the scriptures. This is just a
So I forgot. Inhale, stomach was going in.
No, inhale, stomach is coming out.
Going out.
Just remember,
And then,
inhale is like you are putting air into the balloon. And exhale is you are taking the balloon, the air out of the balloon.
Yeah. Yes.
So inhale, stomach out. Exhale, stomach
in, out.
Yeah.
X, in.
Okay, all right. Whichever way you can remember it. I know it gets confusing sometimes.
College में भी तो chemistry के formulas रटते थे ना.
Yes, Jyoti.
Hershey, did you say this was good for people who cannot sleep?
You can use that. People, anytime you are little disturbed.
Okay.
Because we should be relaxed all the time. We got to learn to be relaxed no matter what happens externally. And somehow, if you cannot do it, do this. Use this technique for relaxation. Just calms you down. Because you remember, what do I always say? I mean, these are not my things, but still, I'm your teacher, so I tell you, calm mind, pure mind, healthy body, clear vision. We need to have that.
Yeah.
We need to know where we are going. Calmer mind will take us there. So
What was the name of the pranayama? I'm making a note.
This is a 2-to, oh gosh, you are making notes, okay. 2-to-1 breathing.
Oh, I thought there must be some name.
No, there's no, this is just a side benefit.
Oh.
Yes. The other rishis, in the old times when they came up with the 10 names, they did not put this in there. There are many, many variations these days, but this is one of the variation which I see very simple and it really works beautifully. I have taught it to many, many people and they have seen the benefit of it. But practice we must do.
I think Manju Gupta has a question.
Hershey, there is no holding in this one, right? Just breathing and breathing out.
Only the inhalation, manipulation of your inhalation and exhalation.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Dr. Chandra.
Dr. Chandra has a question.
Same question. I was going you answered it. So there is no holding there. So
no holding. No. That's why yogis, they did not put it into those 10 pranayams. They emphasized into the holdings, the kumbhaks more. Okay.
Also, Hershey, we are not forcing inhale or exhale. We're just doing it gently.
We are only changing. We are not forcing, but we are just watching, and then we are making our exhalation twice as long as inhalation. Okay. And if you can breathe deeply without much effort, you don't have to have a count of 3 and 6. You can do it 4 to 8 or 5 to 10. Everybody got a different kind of a lung capacity. Okay. So just like I told you, my Guruji, his lung capacity, even at the age of 93, doctors were amazed. What do you eat? What do you do? He said, I just do only pranayama. Okay. So lung capacity. Okay. So any other question? No? Okay.
Actually, I have a question.
Sure.
The exhale 6, the count has to be slow.
Yeah, count.
It has to be slow or rapid.
No, it's up to you. The same frequency has to be the same as for the inhalation too. If you're not doing fast, yeah. To me, I think the way I was counting that is normally is very comfortable for people. Like a 1, 2, 3 during inhalation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And if you cannot hold the air for 6 exhalation, you have to keep practicing.
Keep practicing. Yes. Keep practicing. Yes, but just idea is exhalation should be twice as long as inhalation.
Okay.
That is the idea. Okay.
Okay.
Then you'll
Thank
get
you.
the benefit which I talked about for the nervous system. Okay.
Okay.
So now let's look at pranayam, which is called Surya Bhed Kumbhak Pranayam. Surya. Surya means the sun. Sun gives us the heat. And Surya side is the right side. The Pingala, that's called a Pingala, the right side. So you inhale from the right, then hold the breath, then exhale from the left. Again, inhale from the right, hold, exhale from the left. You continuously doing this way. You are not alternating it. You're not switching the sides. You are just doing it. And how quickly? Just you are doing it quickly. Like inhale quick. Then hold. Then exhale. Then again, inhale from the right. Hold. Exhale from the left. So continuously when you do this, it produces heat inside your body. It helps in cold, cough, or if somebody produces a lot of phlegm, you will see that production of the phlegm will decreases. Lungs absorb more energy from this in-breath. Your digestive power increases, cleanses the nerves, sinuses, and it helps the people who are suffering from the low blood pressure. Okay, even though most of the people have a high blood pressure problem, but some people do low blood pressure. But can the high blood pressure people do it? If it's very, very high, I would say don't do it. But if it's controlled and you are doing other pranayams also, then you can do it. Okay, so Surya Bhed Kumbhak. Another thing you got to do, because I told you during pranayams, it's very important wherever mind is. Keep the mind at the solar plexus, which is the navel area. Okay, that's solar plexus. And how long you should hold? For this pranayam, they did not say how long according to your capacity, because they said that the Nadi Shuddhi pranayam is a must for all the yoga practitioners. Now you know the capacity, then according to your capacity you hold. You can hold longer, but make sure that you don't overdo it. So they did not mention any ratio for it. So inhale from the right, hold, exhale from the left, again inhale from the right, hold and exhale from the left. So how many times you should do it? I would say start with at least 10 times. 10 times. And you can do it, this pranayama, especially during winter, it really helps the body quite a bit. But then what do we do during summer? There's a Chandra Bhed Kumbhak pranayama, opposite of this. Inhalation from left and exhalation from the right. That cools the system. Anybody with a high blood pressure can do this. And again, you got to hold the breath in, do the kumbhak. And where do you keep your mind? Keep it at the moon, the Chandra part. What is the Chandra part? Right here, the forehead. Keep your mind over here. It will cool down. Okay, so again, let me show you the left. Inhale from left. Hold. Keep your mind up there. And exhale from the right. Lot of people I see when they do the pranayama, they just bend their head forward. Don't do that. Keep your head back straight. The tendency is people when they exhale, they just go like this. Don't do that, please. Okay, just keep your back, neck, and head straight. So, so repeat this at least 10 times. Repetition is very important, but make sure that the last repetition is as forceful as the first one, because it becomes weak. That means you're overdoing it. Okay, so Surya Bhed Kumbhak to heat up the body, Chandra Bhed Kumbhak to cool the body, cool your system. Okay, if you don't have any question, let's look at next pranayam, Ujjayi pranayam. It has become a very popular pranayam among the yoga practitioners these days. So many variations also of this pranayam. But I'm going to teach you the way it is mentioned in the scriptures. Basically, you inhale from both the nostrils, because this is advanced pranayam. You can just inhale. That's why I was telling earlier, Samita ji asked, one side is open. If only one side is open, you won't be able to get the benefit of these pranayams. So that's why I have to make sure both sides are open. Okay. So in from the nose, ideally hold it. Don't let the inhalation go down. And then exhale from bottom up. Do the kumbhak while doing a little chin lock. Chin lock is like this. And exhale from the nose, both the nostrils, with a little sound. You know how this sound is? You know, water hose. If you put a little thumb on the water hose, how that water which goes out makes a little sound. That kind of a sound. So this is what you're doing when you have a chin lock, and then you are making a little sound. Or this sound is like a sound of a ocean wave, or the sound of a wind through the trees. That kind of a sound. Other people may not hear this when you're making this sound, and ideally they should not, but you know that sound is being produced inside you. This pranayam aerates the lungs, soothes and tones the nervous system, reduces phlegm because you are doing the chin lock over here, and your voice becomes melodious. Lot of singers, they practice this pranayam. But if you do it with a Jalandhar Bandh, it's really effects of this pranayam gets enhanced. It is also, according to the yogic scriptures, treatment for the enlarged tonsils, sore throat, chronic cold, or even a bronchial asthma. So all kinds of throat ailments can be prevented with this pranayam. Relieving anxiety. Just 2 to 3 minutes if you do this, or a few repetitions of it, you will know that. But it is definitely, it just takes some understanding what is really happening inside me. Bringing the mind right here. Okay, so if you want to practice it, let's just a couple of times and see if you can do it. So it's keeping the back straight, shoulders relaxed again. Breathe in from both the nostrils and just hold it right up here, the inhalation. And there's already air inside. Taking it out, holding it here, chin lock. And then when you exhale from the nose, make a sound, like a wind sound. or that water hose sound, whatever comes to you naturally. Okay, it's like this. And ratio of inhalation and exhalation, it can be same. Okay, but more emphasis is on the exhalation, because that is the time when you are really getting the benefit of that movement in there, that sound in there. Okay, try it. If you have a question, ask me. But make sure if you know that chin lock, that Jalandhar Bandh, do that. And Jalandhar Bandh, again, don't go like this. Jalandhar Bandh is like this. It's the internal lock. And then when you're ready to exhale, then exhale. And then you got to lift your chin up when you exhale. So inhale, exhale from the bottom, bring that air up, let the airs mix, and then exhale fully from the nose. Okay? Any question?
When do I know that I have exhaled enough that all the air has come out, or has it come out so fast that it was not up to the point?
All will never come out, and you don't want all of it to come out anyway. Just do enough and then inhale again. Okay? It's just like a repetition of this which will help you. We can never empty it all out. We don't want to. It is not possible. Okay? So just inhale.
Can we repeat this one, this particular puja pranayam with the chin lock? I didn't understand that quite.
Yeah. So inhale. Like you are inhaling from the nose, and then do not let the air go down. Keep it in the thoracic area, I would say. And then squeeze your stomach. Mentally, just to push the air up. So there's a inhale from the top, exhale from the bottom, then chin lock. When you cannot hold it any longer, then exhale with that sound. Okay?
Hello.
So this is the puja pranayam.
This is the Ujjayi Pranayam. I know there are many variations. If you look up many books, many teachers, modern teachers, they teach differently. But this is the way the scriptures talk about Ujjayi Pranayam. Okay? So practice this, and then if you want to do a variations of it, that's fine too. But you got to know how to manipulate this. Now I'm going to teach you.
Harshji, can I, Harshji?
Sure, Rita.
Is there something also called Ujjayi breath? Which is like
Ujjayi breath, yeah, they call it a breath, but it's a pranayam because there's a kumbhak in there.
Is that an easier
Ujjayi
way?
breath is when they make the sound.
Okay.
That ocean wave sound when they make, that's a breath. But we are talking about kumbhak and then getting the benefit of it, and it's a pranayam. Okay, scriptures call it, yogic scriptures call it Ujjayi pranayam, not Ujjayi breath. Okay, two pranayams I'm going to teach you. They are called Sheetali and Seetkari. Sheetali, 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 and Seetkari. Seetkari is Seetkari, Seetkari. These are the only pranayams where you inhale from the mouth. Rest of the other pranayams, you inhale from the nose. These two, you do it from the mouth. But again, exhale from the nose though. So inhalation from the mouth, exhalation from the nose in these two. So what is the difference between these two? Sheetali is, if you can roll your tongue, then it's called Sheetali, like this. Can you see my tongue? Some people can roll, but some people cannot roll their tongue. So it really, I mean, I'm sure some of you can't. That means long time ago also, some people couldn't roll their tongues. So that's why yogis, they came up with a different system to get the same benefit. Okay. So you inhale with a rolling tongue. Then close your mouth. Hold that breath. Then breathe out from both the nostrils. Inhalation, exhalation, same. And this is from the name, you can tell that these are cooling. Your system gets cooled down. If you're feeling very hot, do this. You will feel there's a coolness in your system. Keep your mind right over here in the forehead area. So Sheetli is when you can roll your tongue. Seetkari is if you cannot roll your tongue, then just clench your teeth like this. Keep your tongue in the back of your teeth, and then suck the air in through your teeth. Close your mouth. Do the kumbhak. Then exhale from the nose. It soothes your eyes and ears. Sometimes people have a low fever. Whatever the reason is, if they do this pranayam, you will see that low fever goes down. These Sheetli and Seetkari pranayams activate our liver and spleen. And a relief of the thirst also. If there's nothing to drink, you are thirsty, try this. Sheetli and Seetkari. Any question? Try it a couple of times so that you get the feel of it. And how long you should do the kumbhak? According to your capacity. But inhalation, exhalation, same ratio. So whether you want to do Sheetli or Seetkari, just, or if you want to practice both, that's fine too. Yes, Dr. Chandra.
The kumbhak means holding area, holding time.
Holding,
That's what it is?
holding, yes.
Oh, okay, kumbhak means holding.
Yeah, kumbhak means holding.
Okay.
Purak is inhalation, kumbhak is holding, rechak is exhalation. Okay. So practice a little bit, and if you have a question, because when you try something, then you know whether you know it, whether you have learned it or not.
In this, when we are inhaling through the mouth, is our stomach expanding?
Yeah, again, stomach will expand. When you inhale, stomach expands. Exhale, stomach contracts. That we should always remember.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah. Because a lot of people I know, anytime I have taught yoga and the pranayam in a group of people, 25% of the people initially, they breathe paradoxically. They don't even know that they are doing it. Because never paid much attention to their breathing, which is such an important part of our life. Breathing. Okay.
For the
Yes.
Sheetli and sheet
Kari.
curry, sheet curry, the timing equal.
Timing in inhalation, exhalation equal. How many times you should do it? I would say not more than 10 times.
The holding,
Okay,
holding is
holding is according to your capacity.
Capacity. Why is
your
is there a chin lock there for this one?
No, there's no chin lock in
No
there.
chin lock.
No, there's no chin lock.
Okay, Jay, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, chin lock was in the Ujjayi.
Ujjayi, yeah. Ujjayi is the only one has chin lock.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so next pranayam, again, that is also very popular these days, Brahmari Kumbhak Pranayam. Brahmari, I'm sure you have heard this name. Brahmar means a large black bumblebee, Brahmar. This pranayam is called by this name because during exhalation, it's a soft humming sound like a bumblebee you are producing. During exhalation, not inhalation. Okay, bumblebee. Yogis, they say best time to do this pranayam is at night actually. Because this is the pranayam which induces sleep. It is good for people who are suffering from insomnia. It soothes your mind. Good for the people who have a high blood pressure, hypertension. And believe it or not, yogic scripture says people who have a short temper. So we think that short temper is a modern ailment. People had that before too, short temper. Okay? This calms you down. So deep inhalation. And this pranayam, they say you can do while lying down also if you want to, because if you're doing it for that purpose, to sleep, so you can do it lying down also. So deep inhalation, deep exhalation with a humming sound. There's so many different ways to do it. Ideally, they used to say, my own Guruji used to say, like, close your ears also, your eyes also, your nose also, your mouth also. Sometimes that becomes too cumbersome. We don't want to have all our hands on our face. So I would say, just close your ears with these index fingers. Just close it like this. And then inhale deeply. And when you, after holding for some time, exhale with that sound. Okay? Sound like a buzzing sound. Try it. I'm going to do it with you. So inhale like from both the nostrils. Hold. Then when you exhale, that kind of a sound. Okay? So it could be loud also, but it's a buzzing. That buzzing sound creates that calmness inside you. This is called a Brahmari Kumbhak. And again, there is a Kumbhak. You are holding.
Are we inhaling and exhaling from the nose?
Both inhalation, exhalation from the nose. Yes.
Hershey, can you demonstrate one more time, please?
Okay. So I'm closing. See, what I do is just instead of putting my fingers in, because we ladies, we have the nails also. So I just don't want to hurt my eardrum. So I just close it. I just, like from outside that little flap, I just close my ear completely. Okay. And then inhale. Hold. So that kind of a sound. Got it?
So the ears are closed the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. Ears are closed, and then do it again. The ears stay closed.
Okay.
Okay. Eyes you will close by yourself. Your mouth is closed. Because the reason I just want you to do it's a simple way, not closing your nose. Then you got to open the nose, close the nose. That it becomes too much. Mind is just wandering. What should I do now? Just only close the ears, and you really hear that humming inside beautifully.
And then how long are you doing this? How many?
Do it for 10 times. To get the benefit, I think few repetitions are needed. Okay.
Harshji, this is very good for your sinus congestions too.
Yes, yes, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. Yes, Sabita ji.
When you do the humming sound, yourself or it is automatic?
Yes.
What is it automatic?
No, you make the sound. You make the sound. It's not automatic. No, sorry. Yeah, I didn't understand it. Yeah, you make the sound like a
beat.
That kind of sound. Okay. So that little vibration inside helps you. Okay. So that's why Manju was saying sinuses Definitely it helps your sinuses also.
What is it called, Hershey? I didn't get
Brahmari Kumbhak Pranayam. Brahmari, Brahmari, Brahmari.
Thank you.
Brahmari Kumbhak Pranayam. Okay.
Thank you.
There is a couple of pranayams I'm going to teach you. They help you for meditation. Because I told you, pranayam is in the Hatha Yoga also for the bodily benefit, physical benefits. But pranayam helps us for our mind also. These pranayams are called Murcha Kumbhak Pranayam and Kevali Pranayam. Murcha means a faint or a swoon. Murcha, state of swoon. In this pranayama, see, you remember I told you there is a kumbhak. One kumbhak is where you are doing it, making the kumbhak. The other one is it happens automatically without, when your mind is so calm, you have taken care of your body properly. You are feeding it right. You are exercising it. You are cleaning it. You are breathing properly. Mind is very calm. When you sit in the meditation, you are just sitting, breathing, definitely in the beginning. Then ultimately what happens? You concentrate over here in the Brikuti. This is called Brikuti. And there is a kumbhak happens, prolonged kumbhak happens. Initially, you try to do it with a chin lock, but then it just happens. It's spontaneous. It's a sahaj. It's called a sahaj kumbhak. So this is called a murcha kumbhak pranayam. So when you sit in the meditation, just try to bring your mind here, chin lock, kumbhak will happen. You will get such a state of peacefulness in your entire body and mind. So for this, you need to practice the other pranayams and meditation also. And another meditation, pranayam for meditation is called Kevali Pranayam. Keval means only. That means no awareness of anything else other than the Atma, the soul. You sit in the meditation, try to detach from this body and the mind also. Concentrate on your breathing. With the help of the breathing, you go into the deeper part of your existence. And the mantra over here is Soham. Soham, that is I. So with each inhalation, you can say so. With each exhalation, you can say hum. Some people like to do it opposite also, which is fine. Whatever comes to you naturally. But pay attention to the breathing. So you're breathing in from the front, breathing out from the back. That's how the mind should work. That's how this little pulley is created inside you. So body is straight again, head and neck straight. You breathe in with the so, with a hum, from the back all the way up. Okay. If there's a kumbhak, automatically happens kumbhak in this one, that's fine. If there's no kumbhak, sahaj kumbhak is not there, do not try to induce a kumbhak. There is a Sanskrit saying, it says, yatra prana liyante tatra mana liyate. It is really good for meditation. So you are concentrating on the breathing with your prana and your mind calms down. This is called a japa mantra. Oh, japa means eventually you are not even doing it. It's just happening because this kind of a mantra is happening inside all the time. But our awareness is so much into the external world that we have disconnected from this reality, which is the real reality. So, Kevali Pranayam. It definitely gives you the benefit because when you're so relaxed, you're so in tune with who you are. Of course, your heart will function better, your lungs will function better, your brain will function better. You're detaching yourself from the temporariness of this life. You're getting to know who you are. You'll be happy, blissful. You enjoy life. So this should be done also for our practice to make the practice more wholesome. Not just breathing in and out forcefully. Sure, we should do that for the functioning of this body, but we should also try to get in touch with the reality, the Atma. So, Soham. Soham. Okay. So, any question on this one or any other? Yes, Dr.
Hershji,
Chandra.
is show hum, show inhalation hum. Any meaning on the show
Yeah.
hum? What is
Yeah. So means that. That means God.
God? Okay, okay.
Hum means me.
Okay, okay, good.
So eventually, when we say that I am that, that is Soham. Okay, Soham. So I am that. We have, by mistake, we've been identifying with this body, with the acquisitions, with these involvements. But actually, we are the Atma, which is part of Paramatma, God. We have forgotten that. So with these little meditation, I mean, rest of the day, we can keep on doing our duties. But few minutes a day, going inward like this, it really invigorates us. It just takes us towards our ultimate goal of life. Okay, so we are using, they say that this is a pranayam, but with the help of the pranayam, you are really getting in touch with who you are. Soham, universal. It's not just only male or a female, Hindu or non-Hindu, doesn't matter. All of us. Soham, we are that. Okay, so yes, Samita ji.
When we say so, is it silently done?
It is all silent. Yeah, no, not with the mouth, because you want to just go internalized. You mentally say it.
Okay.
Mentally say it, feel it.
And hum
The
is also.
feeling, the bhavana has to be there.
Yes,
It's not just a mentally repeating mechanically. With the feeling, I am that. Why did I forget? How did I forget? Because when we really know this, experience this, then what is the worry? What is the fear? What is the attachment to this temporariness? So it's just like a very beautiful way to start the day, actually. This is the way our yogis, they taught us to live.
Hershji, Kim has a
Yes.
question. Kim has a question. Kim?
Oh, yes, Kim, sorry.
Yes. So some time ago, I think I learned to do Soham as you think about the chakras.
Yes.
So as you inhale, say
Yes.
so and go all the way back down and up as you exhale.
Yes.
So is that just a different way to do the
That's
same
a different
process?
way when we include it in our pranayam, because when we do the pranayams, it's just like if we think about the front body, the lungs, the heart, the digestive system. So when you inhale, keep your attention in the front. When you exhale, you can take your attention back. Okay? So during pranayams, we do it this way. Yes.
Hershji, so when we do this pranayam,
Thank you.
and you're doing it, for a length of time, it automatically takes you into meditation,
Yes.
right?
Yes, because you are connecting. That's why I use that term, that statement from the yogis. Yatra prana liyante, Tatra manaliyate. Because meditation is for the mind. So pran, you are focusing on the pran and mind becomes absorbed into that light. Okay.
Thank you.
So good questions. Anybody else? So you have learned it all. Now practice though. Practice is very important.
Hershey, when you're saying soham, both the things are going to be breathing in and out through your nose, or just you are opening your mouth at the soham?
No,
Both nose.
you are not opening your mouth. You are just from the nose. Inhale from the nose. So exhale from the nose. Hum. Okay.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
And with no sound. With no sound.
Yeah, it comes.
It's inner sound, inner
sound, but breathing is external. Breathing is happening, and you are keeping your mind on that. So you are saying, and then you know how in my mind when I do it, how I just kind of let me audibly tell you, it sounds like this in my mind. So you can have a different frequency if you want to, but let me tell you, like a like that. Little prolonged soham, not like a soham, not like that. Okay. It's not a rock and roll. So it's more soothing.
But this sound is the silent, you're not saying it actually.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying it, what's my mind is hearing.
Just like your om. Oh.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
So soham, okay, so. So and hum both are like equally long.
Yeah, oh.
So that means your inhalation and exhalation is equal.
The so is inhale and hum is exhale.
Yes.
Okay. And all the pranayam you do exhale and inhale from nose, right?
Yeah. All the pranayams exhalation is from the nose.
And inhale.
Inhalation is from the nose too, but only Sheetli and Sheetkari, you inhale from the mouth.
Okay.
Okay, Sheetli and Sheetkari. One, you roll your tongue. If you can roll your tongue, do it that way. And then Sheetkari, you clench your teeth, keep your tongue in the back and suck the air like this.
Yeah, Rita used to show us this.
And let me tell you, there's so many women over here. If you really want to have a radiant, beautiful face, do this Sheetkari.
When you show the rolling of the tongue once again, I made your picture big so you can see.
Rolling the tongue like just rolling like it's like a
like
holding the front of.
Yeah.
Holding the front of.
Anybody over here who cannot roll the tongue other than Rita? I think Rita could not hold the tongue. So, okay. Some people can't. I know that. It's amazing that out of 30 some people, only one person couldn't roll the tongue.
When we were young, we used to tease each other doing.
I can't.
Yeah, Manju, you cannot roll it either? Okay, all right. So that's why Sheetkari is for you guys. Okay.
Hershey, I have a question. When you are rolling your tongue, and yes, you are breathing in, but when you are holding inside, at that time, your rolling tongue will.
No, then you close your mouth and relax your tongue.
Keep on, stay rolled.
No, you don't stay rolled. You just relax your tongue and close your mouth and do the kumbhak and then just exhale from the nose. Okay, good question. See, when you practice it, then you know what kind of a question to ask. Yeah. Yes, Rakeshji.
So in all the pranayams, the inhalation is from the nose and exhalation is also from the nose?
Which pranayam?
You said except two.
Rest of them are all from the nose, yes.
In and out, both from the nose.
Yeah. All the pranayams other than Sheetli and Sheetkari, inhalation from the nose, exhalation from the nose. Yes.
So second question, to do all these, it takes long time. So can you say just maybe 4 or 5 that are more important?
Yes, definitely. I would say Bhasrika, Nadi Shuddhi.
Which one is Arishuddhi?
Nadi Shuddhi
very
is the very
first.
first one
Nadi
we
Shuddhi.
did.
Nadi
So
Shuddhi.
say
Okay. Got it.
Bhasrika and Nadi Shuddhi, they are must for everybody every day.
In that order?
Yeah. Bhasrika should be done first because after doing the cleansing, you do Bhasrika. Then Nadi Shuddhi becomes very easy then because you have really opened up your nasal passages, cleaned up all the wetness is all out. Okay. So Bhasrika, Nadi Shuddhi, they are must. Rest of them need basis, I would say. Kevali Pranayam, you can do it during your meditation. Meditation is must also for a yoga practitioner every day. So incorporate that into your meditation. Kevali Pranayam. If you cannot sleep at night, that at that time you can do the Brahmari Pranayam. Okay. If you had a little argument with somebody, then do that 2 to 1 breathing. Just sit down and just breathe, get the benefit. So now you know when to do, but in your daily practice, in the morning after Neti, do those 2, which will take you about 5 to 7 minutes, and then do your yoga exercises. You are ready to go. Okay, good question though. Good question, Rakesh. Yes. So anybody else, any other question?
Yes, I have a question. So a while ago, you taught us the Prachadarnan.
Yes, Prachadaran, Vidharan. Yeah, that's that incorporates a lot of pranayams. You really don't have to. In this class, I did not mention it because today I just stayed with the scriptures like Gheran Samta and Shiv Senta, Hatshok Pradipika. That Prachadaran Vidharan Pranayam, it's more like a combination of so many of these.
Yes, so I had been doing that instead of the Bhasrika and Nadi Shuddhi, but
yeah, it's okay. Then you do that because that already has all this.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, if you are familiar with that and if you are comfortable with that, that is like a sequence which has incorporated most of these pranayams. Okay. Meditation is part of it too. During meditation in that, bring this Kevali pranayam in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you do yoga exercises, you tell us to do shavasana in between. When we do pranayams, and if you get dizzy or headache, then should we take a break or just do not do?
Take a break. Anytime you get dizzy, anytime you feel out of breath, just go into that shavasana. Okay. So yoga is not to tire us down. Yoga is a technique where you really get to know yourself and you feel in charge. After 1 hour of yoga practice, you should feel full of energy. No sweating, no red eyes, no aches and pain. That's what yoga is. You feel light. Okay. So I can see that all of you are either practicing or want to practice. That's really a good thing. Very good thing. Okay. So anybody else, any other question?
Kim still has a
Right.
question.
Yeah,
Yes,
just a quick question. So Bhasrika is a pranayam, but there's no kumbhak in that, right?
No, Bhasrika, there's no kumbhak in that pranayam. Yes.
So, but
That's
didn't
why
you
it's called
say
a
that-
Bhasrika. It's not called a Bhasrika kumbhak. It's just a Bhasrika.
But didn't you say that it's not a pranayam if there's no hold in it? Or-
Yeah, it is. But there's always exception to the rule also.
Okay, so it's still a pranayam.
Yes, it is still a pranayam. Definitely Bhasrika pranayam, they call it.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
But most of the other pranayams, see, just like this, I told you that inhalation, exhalation should be from the nose. But then Sitkari and Shitli, there's a inhalation from the mouth. So there's all, but there's a purpose behind it. See, Bhasrika's purpose is different. Okay. So that's why there's no kumbhak in Bhasrika. But Bhasrika alone, you don't do it. You always do Nadi Shuddhi. So you get the benefit of a kumbhak in the Nadi Shuddhi.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
We have to do them together. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So no more questions. So next retreat, we are going to talk about or go through Yoga Nidra. That's another topic which is very dear to yoga practitioners. And I was talking to Jyoti and I said, we can, this way we'll have a recording of it too. Because in that Yoga Nidra class, I will go through the theory of it, just like I did today, about the pranayam, and then you will practice also. So you will lie down and just have a blanket with you and a little pillow with you, and you lie down. Just make sure you don't go to sleep, and I'll make sure that you don't sleep. I'll just keep talking. So Yoga Nidra. So Yoga Nidra, you don't sleep. Okay. So that is our next retreat. Okay.
Narayana is in Yoga Nidra on this
Yes, that's
Adishesha.
right. Yoga Nidra. That's where it came actually. Narayana, Yoga Nidra. Okay. Yeah, good point.
Thank you, Ji. What a beautiful lesson today. My God. So many. I think I counted so far 12 pranayams.
Yes.
And it's so nice. The lesson was so beautiful. Thank you. God bless
Yeah,
you.
no. Thank you for coming. Thank you for participating. Keep practicing. Anytime you have a question, please call. Get the benefit. It is for us all. And share it with others. Because breathing is, we all breathe. We started breathing the second we were born. Our mothers were so happy when we were crying, breathing. And we're going to keep on breathing. Don't they say that until the last breath? In the scriptures, there are a lot of talk about this prana. There is a Upanishad which is called a Prashan Upanishad. The young yogis, practitioners, they go to a guru and they say, we have a questions. The guru said, you got to stay here, observe all the disciplines of the ashram, and after a year, ask your questions and I may be able to answer. In that, beautifully, one of the Kumar, young boy, he asks, what is prana? And over there in that scripture, that Guru says, Piplad Muni is the name of that Guru. Piplad Muni says, Pran is the shadow of the soul. Wherever soul goes, Pran follows it. That's why in Hindi, when somebody dies, what do we say? Pran nikal gaye. Pran follows. Pran is not the soul, but Pran is the shadow of the soul. So by doing this pranayam, we are doing our duty, our dharam, to get to know ourselves. We know, see, through the shadow, we get to know who we are. So every single day, just make a little commitment today that starting from tomorrow morning, I'm going to do few minutes of pranayam. Okay. So, and then I'll see you tomorrow in the class and I might ask you, did you do it or not?